Hey, folks, Ben here. Welcome to the Sunday night hanging right here on Sundays. Yep, I'm Ben. We have Brother James, JJ's House of Jams, back once again. Sorry we're late. We're too busy catching up and talking, and we're like, well, might as well do it live. And yeah, this is going to be a fun one, folks. I'm just saying, it's going to be fun.
Always,
we already got a bunch of people in the chat. We've got Symmetry, Stephen Douglas, John Duchesne, Tim Thomas, JP Page 2, Ferd Burfel, Jason Lindholm, iRock Zed Blues, Josh Tanberg, Charles 75N, Tim Thomas, Dennis Ellis, Gary, Guitar 1952, Lawrence Cash out of Alaska, Paul McNary, Hip Metalworks, Michael Kraus, John McCullough tuning in from the UK, I believe. Herb of Fireside Studios. Who else we got here? Eddie Fay, Guitar Man 45, Dana, New Jersey. Thomas Santiago made it right on time. Zach, OG of the channel, Zach.
Yeah, Zach.
Who else do we have here? Gretsch Zeppelin's in here. But you all talk to each other. Terry Himes, I see.
Sean Zimmerman, my brother. Rock on, dude.
Nice.
LRM, rock on, brother.
Billy Baloney, I see in there. I'm scrolling to the bottom. We're talking a bunch. Wow. Randy Upchurch is here. Sean Zimmerman. Great to see Sean. It's been a minute.
Always, man. Old school, baby.
Yeah.
OG
Jeff
right
Hayes in here. Dana, New Jersey with the custom font. I don't know how you did that, but that's impressive.
It's because he's metal.
Yep. Guitar Man 45 says, okay, what happened to all those Gibsons JJ had in the picture? Oh, that was a picture from NAMM 2019.
Dude, that green one you got there on the thumbnail or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude. Fell in love with that. That was like $7,500, wasn't it, or something?
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Yeah, I remember that day. That was sick.
Yeah, that thing was just ridiculous.
Yeah, Stephen Douglas, you rock.
Both in stereo. BC Rich 581 made it.
To that.
Randy Crooks.
Rock on, Randy.
Nice. Lots of folks.
Fred Burfel, you mentioned Fred or Ferd. And Jonathan McCulloch, Scottish, I presume.
Like Aileron Guitar says, looks like JJ's in your basement, Ben. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, very similar rooms.
Yeah. Octopus here.
Mine appears to be a bit more high gain dominated, though.
Yeah. There's not much gain back there.
You're like Edge of Breakup with some freaking grind.
Yeah. And then we both have space stations on the floor to control them.
Octopus ears, what's up, brother? When are you going to come pick your freaking pillow up, mate? He left his pillow here when he was here with freaking Lad.
He did that just as an excuse to come back.
Yeah.
I get it.
I think he gave it Killer Ernie Ball guitar lead. Was that a present, Octopus ears?
You do have a command center as well, Bo. That's for sure. Guitar Man 45. He's got Marshalls and Friedmans and he's got all that stuff.
Guitar Man 45?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure I'm sub to him. It's funny, I'm sub to so many people, but you don't always get the notifications, even though you have it clicked.
Well, I was going to say, next time, especially on a Wednesday, I'll definitely have to send you a link to one of our Zoom calls that we all jump on.
Yeah.
It's just in.
What do we talk about? Tone?
What don't we talk about, right?
Yeah.
And at least one point every call, Guitar Man 45 will make Charles 75N have a heart attack. Like, he pulled out this custom shop carving he had made in like 1978 that has more quilt than you would ever see on a guitar. And then he flips it over and the back is just as quilted. And you're like, what the hell is that?
Oh, sick.
What's up, Presley, California Customs? Tom Raines. Yeah, Bo has all the amps. Yeah, he has apparently an OG 5150 half stack, except he misplaced it. It's like, where is
So
that anyway?
You sit there on camera in the hangout, and we can check out all the amps. Oh, right on. See you on Wednesday. Yeah, Jonathan, I'm actually from Brighton.
Superfan Gary Davlin.
Brighton, South Coast. You know where we're at. I presume. Are you in Britain somewhere?
I believe so.
Yeah, I live in California though, so I've been here for many years.
Can you talk about how listening to guitar players from other genres to open up our minds and make us better players?
Great conversation.
Yes. I find that's...
Apart from jazz.
I listen to a lot of stuff that I don't play for that reason because I don't know what they're doing. Young Mr. Radford.
Alex, what's up, brother?
Like, still to this day, I can listen to Primus and I don't have a clue what's happening guitar-wise. Like, I can't play to this.
Well, it's very influential, though.
Yeah.
It basically says you can do anything you frickin' want.
Exactly.
You know.
Also, Billy Baloney, listen to horn players and singers. Exactly.
Musical spectrum and its age as well. I mean, if you're younger, I guess you haven't been so musically rewarded through all the different bands and everything. You know, so if you like, everyone picks up a guitar, maybe they start with the Beatles or Bob Dylan or Cat Stevens or something like that. That was kind of my genres, and you go through your different genres of music. You know, and that's where you pick up all your different, you know, one part of your guitar playing period could have been totally focused on Hendrix, and then you're into Blackmore, and then, you know, it just goes all over the place. And then us old farts now, we've been so freaking spoiled with different musicians. I mean, I get inspired, you know. Haven't in the last, years, though. I still listen to all the old stuff, you know. Nothing new that really just, kills.
Yeah, I went on a big Fleetwood Mac kick last week with the passing of Christine McVie. Just listened to a ton of that stuff, whether I had guitar or not. I didn't care.
One of my all-time favorites. That's Desert Island Disc right there for sure. Rumors. Yeah, heartbreaking. Yeah. Lock on Manchester, mate. Cool, Jonathan. Yeah, come say hi. Nam's a cool place to hang.
Okay, so we're getting Billy Baloney's mentioning reggae, and Randy Crooks has been digging on some Neil Young lately. Nice.
See Neil, Crazy Horse, man. Damn, didn't we learn all them riffs?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Exactly, fucking believable.
But it all comes down to practice, doesn't it? As well. If you want to try all these different genres, you got to practice them, because you'll pick up something for a week, 2 months later, what was it? You know, I mean, I guess it's in there somewhere, but if you practice something.
Yep. Hey, Dean.
Happy
holidays to you. Well, that was like, it came up in Pete Thorne's live stream today. A guy asked about a good way to practice rhythm. And, people talking, playing with a metronome. And I was like, learn Edge of 17. Do that Waddy, which I'll just... You're doing that.
Yeah, that's kind of boring, though. Play along to records is a really good one, because then you're keeping up with their timing, and they're kind of trying to lock into their drummer and their groove, and you can always, like, as the song progresses, you can just screw up and then just pick back up somewhere. But that's always great to play along to records, man.
I like All Day, All Nights. Roy Buchanan.
Record. Strange word. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Who's playing along to a fucking record? Let's face it. No one anymore.
Bukovac
You need a square counter for me, Ben. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You need what is it? Swear jar?
Yeah, swear jar.
I'm going to try and not use the F word, man. I watch myself back sometimes. I'm like, man, what a mouth. That's England for you, isn't it, Jonathan? It's normal.
Canada isn't any better.
What's that?
Canada isn't any better for it.
Part of conversation sometimes, and it's like, that is not right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and not be so ridiculous with my effing swearing. It's getting cold here, mate. How's the rest of the world doing?
I think we're back
Come
below
on.
the freezing mark today.
Who's warm right now? Anyone else warm in warm climates, or who's in like freaking? Dude, I was watching some of the weather going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless you, metalhead hippie. He's right in the thick of it.
Yep. And Thomas Santiago got, what, 4 feet in Buffalo there last month.
Whoa.
Okay, apparently Guitar Man 45's got freezing, or it's freezing there. So, okay, just not freezing. 45 Fahrenheit, where Ferd Burfel is. He's in Texas.
What's that, Alec? Coke or cold?
Good to know. Good to know, Michael Krause.
Symmetry, crank it up, brother. You're the man.
Thanks, brother. That's hilarious.
All right, so I've got 10 swears. Is it 10 cents a swear that allows me what? 100 swears?
100 swears?
Yeah, or is it $1 a swear? It gives me 10. Let's go for
I like
$1 a
10 cents.
swear.
Hey, at least I don't get demonetized after our shows like I do when Aaron's on.
Is he bad?
I don't know what he says, but man, I get demonetized every time we hang out together. Until I get I do a manual review, and then they approve it every time.
Maybe it's the combination of me and him. All the three of us.
Right? 28 in Virginia. Minus 23 Celsius for Patrick. Yes, he's like west of Edmonton. He is in basically, yeah, northwestern Alberta.
Dude, let's see what I'm bitching about right now. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't it? It has been cool where you are.
Yeah, but then it's just been hot as well. It's just been bizarre. We're so spoiled here, it's ridiculous.
What?
London is 52.
Wow, it's right up freezing in Nashville, too. 0 Celsius in Nashville.
Yeah, the highs are like 68. And the lows are like 56. 50.
I would take that in a heart. That's t-shirt weather.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Still freezing when you're spoiled rotten in California. That's why I moved here, by the way.
That came up my feed, Lawrence. Yeah, newer video on there, The Who's Full Performance from Woodstock. 0 Fahrenheit in Anchorage. Yep. I don't blame you for staying in.
That's gnarly. Who was the champion, though? Minus 23, wasn't it? Patrick Trites.
That's minus 23 Celsius. So that's got to be damn near, I don't know, 0 Fahrenheit? I don't know. That's cold.
Back to Matt. Well, happy Christmas, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming.
What's up, Blackjack Guitar?
Yeah, rock on, Blackjack.
So, you've been playing, you've been gigging, you dropped a single out in the world, like.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Gosh. Yeah, it's been bonkers. You know, you've been following what's been going on, Ben. Yeah, it's been bonkers. Trying to keep it consistent. If you keep it consistent, you keep pushing. That's what we're trying, man. So we've been gigging. I mean, not crazy gigging. We're trying to be selective. You know, I've done so many gigs in my life, and I'm not driving frickin' 2 hours on a frickin' Tuesday. That's all done. We're trying to be selective with gigs and push the single. Working hard, still rehearsing once, twice a week, and constantly writing. And we're doing our best, man, and just feeling good about being in a band again, man, and fucking having a chance and rocking hard, and it just feels blessed.
Speaking of which,
got a single out there. It's been we
were talking off air. I was hanging out with Mr. Richie Shanahan, and he had brought that up. He's like, "So JJ's got some stuff going on," and he's all grinny. Richie's all excited. He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, man." He's like,
"Yeah."
How does it sound? I'm like, "Sounds killer."
Yeah, Richie.
And I was like, I have the album right here. He's like, I want to hear it when it's released. I don't want to hear it on a phone. I want to hear the full deal.
It's the same thing, man. Just freaking send it to him, whatever. But just, for his ears only right now, because we are trying to release the singles, one by one. That's how we're going to do it. We'll probably release like 2 or 3 It looks like we're going back in end of January to record again. So we'll release 2 or 3 as singles, and then we'll just do the rest of another 3 in a row. You know, just bang them all out, all 3. So then all 6 are out there. Just see, I don't know. Right. Someone else is controlling all that crap. What do I know? But very excited. The response has been good and just super, super excited. Yeah. It's a pleasure,
Mad
man.
Raj, good to see you.
Mad Raj.
Kermit 45 was asking if any of the shows were recorded for YouTube yet.
I think Laz filmed some. There's like clips, you know.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of footage from a couple of shows. Some really good footage actually. We played that sold out show with can't remember their name now, but it was freaking sold out, and that was freaking badass in Costa Mesa. We got some good footage from that. But yeah, we'll post clips. But I mean, dude, if anyone filmed us and put it out there, that's stoked.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Jonathan McCullough says, "What style of music is JJ playing?" Oh, it's
grunge, mate. Pure
it's the
90s.
Best of the '90s reimagined.
Yeah. That's it. That's who I am. You know, I live for Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and Rage Against the Machine and Tool, and that was my period of freaking
all
complete.
that.
When music came out, blew my mind. I've never been able to. 2000s, I got lost, you know, but I never came back out the 90s, man. Freaking Alice in Chains is played daily, man. It moves me.
Yeah, Laz tagged me in an Instagram reel he had posted of you guys playing, and I chuckled. I was like, "Oh man, I love the track." But I'm just looking at the stage you're playing on. I'm like, "Oh, I played that stage." You know, it may not have been in LA, but I'm like, I know exactly what's going on. You know, and I'm just like, "Yeah, do it, been there, do it."
That was a good show. We rocked it. It was for this guy, Warrior Dave. He's a booking agent for Los Angeles. He does the Whiskey, the Rainbow, and booking bands for years. And it was his birthday bash. So there was like 10 bands and 2 flew in from out of state. And it was a great day, but it was meant to be outdoors on a stage. They got a killer outdoor stage and it was just pissing with rain. Dude, of all the days to rain, we see rain like 5 times a year, you know, and it rained like dumped that day. But ended up being a great day. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
I remember the one time it rained when I was out there and Dana's all, "It's raining." I'm like, "So?" I live in Canada.
Shout out to G Booknoff. He's a YouTuber. Some of you guys may know G. He's on a couple of the shows in the chats. And he rolled in for the show with his daughter. It was freaking awesome to see some faces. And obviously Lads and Octopus is rolled in. So yeah, massive props for rolling in, man. I was stoked.
Yeah.
Octopus.
I believe Octopus here is even your roadie and tech for the night.
Yeah, dude, he was my roadie. I kept winding him up as well. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna change my strings. I ain't gonna change them. Like 10 minutes before the show, I'm like, dude, I think we should change the strings. I'm like, you good with a floating Floyd? I'm like, I'm just screwing with you, man. But dude, it was great because I get wound up before the show, right before as it starts. Like, here we go, and it's like, okay, because it was like gear on, gear off, all sharing a drum kit. And freaking Octopus goes, I'm on stage, it's like, and he's just like, here you go, ready to go, perfectly in tune. He's got the other one perfectly in tune as well. And I just freaking went for it. And there it was. It was like, stoked. Yeah, man.
Oh, Keith, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we get success, Octopus. You're on the freaking road, man. I found my roadie. Yeah. And you, Ben, we're all going. Yep.
I'll go. I'll tech. I have no problem with that.
Hey, thanks for the post there, Charles 75N. Yeah, StarZero. That's the name of the band. And yeah, any can share. Please listen to the song Dark Side. Released it on the 10th. And yeah, we're getting some momentum. So yeah, apparently it's being played all over the world.
Yeah, I saw one indie radio station picked you guys up. Like, it was obviously early because let's say a month and a half ago, the band had posted, right? And I was like, that's a totally cool dude. I totally forgot to text you about it because he played my stuff when we had released our album a few years ago. And he's just like, literally, I don't care. I'll absorb. If it's good, I'll play it. And
it's a bizarre scenario because we're getting hit up by radio stations and stuff. And a lot of them want money. It's all pay to play. And pay to play always fucking existed. But some of them are totally cool and they want to interview the band and they're playing the song and whatever. But a lot of people. It's like, dude, we're down to work with you, man. So we can send you our, kind of campaign numbers. And it's like, what? Play the freaking song. This is rock and roll, man. Give us a freaking chance. But we're getting some love, so that's awesome. But yeah, please go listen
for shows and shit like that.
Instagram, StarZero777, and the Facebook, I think, is San Clemente Surf. Yeah, StarZero San Clemente Surfers. Yo, Albus, what's up, Aaron?
Brother Aaron.
A lot of it, the numbers on Instagram and all that, and we're trying to build our fan base, and it's slowly getting there,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, please listen to the song. Super excited.
Oh, driving back from Santa. I assume the kids are with you? Hey, kids. Yeah, it's good to see Brother Aaron in here. Yeah, yes, we're continuing the California adventure on the channel with Charles Green last week and JJ tonight here, you see.
Right, yeah, Charles is awesome. Rock on, Charles. And is he in the chat?
I haven't seen him in the chat yet. He'll catch on replays. He's pretty burnt out by Sunday evening. But
yeah, Charles is a legend. I mean, he's an LA legend as well, and he's been on the scene.
Right
in the days. Love his stories.
Yeah. You don't even get to hear the stories that he tells off air.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, he's seen it all. He's been in the rooms, you know what I mean, trying to keep things calm.
Yeah, you figured the whiskey 1982, right? Just
dude, it was kicking off, and he's like, he's in there screaming at people, going, "Dude, chill out.
Yeah.
Get this guy out of this room, and you guys are good." But that guy's got to go.
Yes, you do see a 7-string in the background, RJ.
Yes, love my 7 strings. Got a couple of Ibanez, yeah. The old RG 7620 and a 7420. Swap the pickups out. Got the Univert. Yeah.
I remember playing one of them.
I'm thinking about bringing it out for the band, actually. There's something about 7 strings which is so killer, man. We like to experiment, so yeah.
Well, that's the funny. Like when people say, Ben, you should get a 7-string. I'm like, I've only ever played one I liked, and it was JJ's. So if you can find me the same one, good luck. Yeah.
Well, you got to get the right necks, man. I'm an obsessive guitar freak, and I know, I'm an Ibanez freak anyway. So if you're,
I was surprised at how narrow it was. By far the narrowest 7-string, I think.
Feels like a kind of a little wider 6-string,
Yeah, like a 6.5 or those wide Jackson necks.
It's not where you're like, oh, this is going to be weird. You hold it and you're like, man, this is freaking dope. And there's just that extra string. It's sick. Yeah, I love a 7-string. I had an 8 once. I did give it a go a few years back.
Oh yeah,
I had a Victor 8-string, and yeah. Dude, it was a lot of fun, but I couldn't. It's not my thing, So I just traded it up against Summon. Yeah,
I remember one of the guys in local bands. He showed up with one of those Ibanez 8 strings one night, and I'm just, here we go. He's gonna be playing all the notes, and they did a lot of Iron Maiden covers and stuff like that. Right. So it kind of made all the harmonies, and then he's just going to town on that thing. I was like, Jesus, man, it's like playing a harp or something.
Yeah. I love it when it's just massive, heavy, dark riffs just grinding away on an 8-string where it's super heavy, But, yeah.
Hey, my knees hurt.
Michael Kraus wants
6 strings on a wide 7-string.
A wide 7, he must have giant hands or something. So he wants a massive, wide neck. I don't know. Where would you go in that direction? Thinking classical?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Jackson's always seemed to have the widest necks for me at the nut. Yeah, I'm good with 5 strings as well, Billy. I can do 5.
I can't. 6, perfect. 6 is perfect.
Charles says he struggles with 6.
Oh, we all do.
Yeah, just one at a time.
Double XL, yeah. So he's got massive hands.
7 strings will make you drink more.
With it, you will drink more 7-string. The problem. Yeah. So go easy on the 7-string, buddy.
Yeah.
Treat it well.
So have you picked up any gear recently beyond your endorsement guitar? I believe you showed off the endorsement guitar last time you were on. You just got that.
Let's show you guys. It's got a sticker on it now. my metal guitar.
Nice. And that looks like for black flies.
Yeah, black flies. They're clothing and eyewear. So
I am well aware of, I used to rock the black flies in the early 90s.
Yeah, well, they were like, surf and motocross and skate and
Yeah, local skate
music.
shop started carrying Black Fly's clothing. I loved it, and I wore Black Fly's shades for a few years until I started wearing glasses, and then I stopped wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, they've supported bands through they support up and coming people, whether it's skating, surfing, but music first and foremost. Pennywise and frickin' Cypress Hill, right from the early days, they were the OGs. So they've never stopped. They keep going, and they're still supporting skating and surf and music. And yeah, we got
awesome.
Stoked. They hooked us up.
Yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, wow, that's a blast from the past. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love their stuff.
They give me love, I show them love too. And I've had like 20 pairs of Black Flies through my life, and lost them all. So
yep.
Yeah, check them out, Black Flies and Vapor Guitars. Good budget. I think these run around $600, something like that. Imports. But I suit mine up, gave it the old stripped it down and changed the pickups. They're those guitars, you strip them out and upgrade the gear, put an Invader and a 59 in there. It's not really my shape, but it grew to me, Yeah. Very proud to get this, all my years of playing to get this was just, and super stoked. So it's got a massive bond with me, and I play it live, and yeah, super stoked. So please check out Vapor Guitars. They got many different styles, and they do a 7-string, which they just released, I think, a month ago.
Ooh. So RJ Nomad One's reporting, and he says, share with JJ the best metal pedal for a 7-string, in my opinion. The angle straight to hell.
Well, it's going to be sick. It's probably killer with a 6-string as well. But if that one is like kind of can deal with the down-tuned notes, yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
so talking of gear, what I'm jonesing right now, and I have to avoid it, and I'm not going to do it because I've been round the rabbit hole so many times. Live I use amps. I use amps live and in 4-cable method with my Helix. And the Helix is all the pedals. And I've been crazy with pedals. My pedal board was like totally 7 years ago. And there was so many freaking pedals, and I'd swap them out. And I was just, the cable problems, and all of a sudden, and it's like, you can't risk all that. And I love my pedal board. You've actually got my pedal board.
I do. I use it every day.
Pedal board. Yeah. That's a freaking behemoth of a pedal board, but it was stacked with pedals. And
I have 3 that aren't on the board because it's not big enough for all the pedals that I want on there. But
I've got another pedal board right there. So I still have a pedal board, and I do have some pedals, and I've got a couple. Laz left me the freaking Paul Gilbert one, the JHS Paul Gilbert, which is pretty sick. Different. It's got a vibe on it. But I've been looking at that one just 2 days ago. I seen that PRS post. What's that pedal called? Did anyone see it from Paul Reed Smith? It's called he's made a new one, which I think he copied of this one, which was out in the late 90s.
Okay.
Damn, I can't remember what it's called now. Might be on my search.
Jason Lindholm has an MXR full bore metal. I used one of those for when I played with One Day to Live. That was my gainy sound. The horse meat.
No, that's the one he's made. That's the one he's made. He did a post on Facebook the other day about this pedal from the late 90s, early 2000s. Can't remember the name of it. Super rare pedal. I looked it up, and they go for $400 used.
Oh, wow.
And I think he's cloned that to become the horse meat. Because this pedal was a freaking beast. Someone had to have seen it. Yeah, I think the horse meat is the clone of the one that he demoed on this Facebook post. I'm gonna have to find. I looked at it on Reverb, so it might be in my history.
I just realized I need to fire off something before I forget yet again.
Yeah, but $400, I ain't doing that on pedals again. I've never done it because back in the day, pre-freaking COVID or whatever, when there was a period for about 8-10 years where the musical equipment on the used market was crazy, and if you knew what you were doing, you could get some steals. So that's how I was getting pedals. And God, so many regrets on things I saw. We all did, man. Come on, please be in there. Oh, God, I ain't in there. I'll try and remember it.
Yeah, we go here. That.
I can't believe no one saw that.
Hey, Donnie Lovett.
Yeah, my knees hurt. My pedals are $30 or less. I've heard you talking before about some of the pedals and what you get. Yeah, man.
Nice.
Dude, those Behringer ones, my buddy Joe, he'll buy them Behringers. He goes, he'll send me a text. He goes, look, 25 delivered to the door tomorrow morning, $25. I'm like, what? Yeah. And he'll get it and bring it round. We compared this fuzz pedal to a freaking Big Muff, and God, the Behringer.
Yeah, the Behringer fuzz. It's like isn't it the Boss Super Fuzz? What's up, Caleb?
Yeah, but he got a different one. That one is sick, but he has a different fuzz. It was the clone of the Big Muff. Their clone of the Big Muff. Oh my Lord, dude! What's up, Quentin?
JJ,
dude, I love you, brother. How you doing, man?
It's the coolest kid on YouTube. All right, I got several things.
Well, I am your son.
First of all, JJ, what's up, bro?
What's up, dude?
Okay, first of all, I spy an ADA MP1.
Of course.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And first of all, JJ.
Yeah.
Guess who's having some bacon? This kid right here. He's having some bacon. Hey, it's Quentin James. See you later.
Oh, I love you, bro. Take care. Be well. Eat that bacon. Don't we love Quentin? And
Quentin, I wish you well, bro. One of a kind. And we got Caleb Rappaport in the chat here.
Where's my brother?
Nerd Halen and the End of the Bus Network.
Man. Good to see you, Caleb. And of course, who is Caleb Rappaport? For those of you who don't know, Nerd Halen guitarist, extraordinaire, freaking killer player. Check out Caleb and the band Nerd Halen. Incredible. I've seen him twice. Oh, no, I think I've seen him 3 times now. Sick. So much fun. Ain't that right, Caleb? So much fun and just incredible. Miss you too, Caleb. We're going to catch up soon. Yeah, next show that you're doing, I'm not. I always look at them when they're coming up, and I try and make them. So the next one, I'm going to keep my eyes. Hey, I'll hit you up in February. We're playing at the Whiskey in February, so I got tickets for you, brother. You and whoever, however many you need to bring, you're all in. On me.
What's up, Fruitcake Tony?
Fruitcake, what's up, my brother? All I want to know, I might have missed it, mate. Did I miss it? Fruitcake, when are we going to do the Jerry Cantrell picks? That's what I want to know. I might have missed that one. He'll tell us real quick.
Yeah. I was on Fruitcake Tony's channel last week. We did Mick Mars. That was a lot of fun.
Dude, Caleb, I'm there. 218 Huntington Beach. I'm there. Where are you playing? I'll bring some friends along. I'll tell them about you guys all the time.
No, Charles 75N is probably having a meltdown in the chat because he just sees Billy Baloney's comment. I bought a Behringer Super Fuzz 2 weeks ago and still haven't plugged it in. I get it.
Hey, Quentin, if you don't follow my band on Facebook and Instagram, you know I'm going to be pissed, brother. I'll be knocking on your door.
Kale's playing the Mamba.
The Mamba. Okay, well, I'm going to be there. You got my number, Caleb. Send me where you're playing. I'm going to be there. It's on.
Nice. I didn't think you did, Charles. I didn't think you did. He says, I don't get that.
Yeah, and congratulations on Under the Bus, brother. I'm always watching. If I don't pop in the chat, I'm always watching and listening. If I'm not in the chat, I'm still watching and listening. Just got things going on. But yeah, congratulations on the show.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
It's rocking, man. It's good
Yeah,
time. Yeah, it's all about a good time, man. That's all. It's all about a freaking good time.
Yeah. Can one of the mods put a link to Nerd Halen or Under the Bus Network or both in the chat?
Yeah, Terry, where you at, bro? I hope everything's.
What's up, Mayhem?
Where's Terry at?
Oh, he's probably asleep. What's up, Brad Guitar Miller?
Sometimes you got to wonder if
Hey,
Terry's
people
real
watching,
or
hit
he's
the
a
like if
digital
you haven't
program.
already. Hit that like.
The Baconator.
Nice. All the bacon.
That's Wendy's. That's the
There we go.
the most calorie hamburger.
One of each. Boom, boom. Perfect. What's up, Ryan Hall?
Ryan Hall, what's up, brother?
He's in Alabama tonight. He was hanging out on the last Zoom call.
Mayhem. Always good to see you,
He's
Mayhem.
a bit of a character. I'm just going to say it right here now. Ryan Hall is a bit of a character, and I like that. He fit right in with the cast of characters. It was like, I don't know, a dozen of us, 15 of us hanging out. JJ, it gets crazy. Well, it is what it is. It's they're fun.
I'm pissed I can't remember the name of this pedal. It's tripping me out. I'm going to find it. Someone's got to have seen it. We're all guitar freaks. How can you have missed it? And you're going to freak when you see it. God, this is really pissing me off.
Yeah, so that Zoom call started at 7 Eastern and went until 2 or 3 in the morning, apparently. I was on for the first 3 hours or so. Then I dipped out.
What Zoom calls that?
That was one for my channel members and patrons. We do twice a month.
Okay.
We do like the first Saturday of the month, and then we do the second or third Wednesday of the month.
Right on.
One at 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, so it would be like a morning thing for you on it, the first Saturday of the month, and then and then the Wednesday one, Charles will start it up for us, Charles 75N, and then he usually hands it over to Symmetry because he's on the West Coast, and then they just keep going and going. What's up, Modern Vintage? Good to see you, my friend. Gear Junkie 35's in here. It's kind of like Cheers, but with guitar nerds, and it's online. Exactly, because everyone comes over like, "Yay, JJ!" What's happening?
A lot of these people in the chat we've known for years, man. So my
surprised how many faces I've seen, JJ.
About my band and my journey. A lot of these people have followed it all along, and they've seen it go up and down, the splits and the changing lineups for, 7 years now or something of it. Well, 5 years. This project with the singer.
Yeah,
and some of these guys have seen the whole freaking journey.
You know what? You know what's crazy, JJ? In a month, I will have been doing this for 5 years.
Well, then it's more than 5 years. Holy shit, that's crazy.
I know. Yeah,
I was sub number. I think I was sub number 6 or number 3.
Right.
Pretty much. Is there a prize for that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't that give me any kind of like position if you're like sub number 3? Aren't you like the freaking the vice president of the Collectible Guitar?
Might as well be, right?
Dude, here we go. Absolute mayhem. I love the Pantera tour. Yeah, where do I start?
I have no issues with it. Like Zach was one of Dime's best friends, so he's going to obviously do an honorable job. And why can I never remember the name? It's Charlie on drums. He's an amazing drummer. So.
Oh, he's incredible. It is what it is. For me, it's a dream come true. When they first started posting stuff on YouTube, I was just tripping out, man. I'm just on everything and watching Ola's reaction and all these different reactions and the pissing matches. And I'm online looking at the pissing matches about Zach. And for me personally, I just think it's incredible. And I think for Rex, and in Phil to have this 10, which 5 years ago this conversation was not even a conversation, and I think it's a dream come true for them, especially Rex. Freaking, he's been rocking, but very lower level, just doing his thing on a very lower key level. Phil's been killing it for years, never stopped grinding away. But man, Rex is killing it. Phil is killing it. His voice is incredible. Zach's killing it as far as I'm concerned. Fuck the leads, He's grinding away, and he's not going to play with someone else's tone because it's not going to be him playing. Then it's not his feel. It's not his embodiment with it. It's no, it's on for them as far as I'm concerned. I can't wait till they start rocking through this area, and I'd love to go see him. I've never seen Pantera, so I'd love to see him. I'm going to see Pantera.
I tried to get tickets to that tour where they opened for Black Sabbath. I tried to get tickets for that tour, but it's the Sky Dome, which holds 50,000 plus, that sold out in like 20 minutes. It was ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
We tried. What's up, Garguts? Good to see you, my friend.
I could have seen him in the UK. Back in the day, in the UK, in the 90s, these bands were coming through all the time, but there was always so many freaking options where you're going to go. So you can't just go to every show, but that's one I missed. I mean, I could have seen him at the Marquee in Britain, which holds, 500-600 freaking people. That would have been gnarly.
Right.
But just, you blow it. But then you see other shows which are killer,
Yeah, that's like Symmetry when he saw Pantera at the Commodore.
Yeah, I saw Rage Against the Machine on their first tour in a tiny little freaking place. I saw Korn in a tiny place on the first tour, and that was just behemoth, It's freaking nuts. Rock on, RJ, and I got to say, Garguts, what up, brother? Always watching Garguts once in a while, mate, in the evenings, doing his freaking... Well, he's 24 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Vampire. I'm doing pretty good on the swear jar. I think I've lost like $2 at most.
Google takes more.
Yeah, Tim Thomas is here, man. Absolutely. Rock on, Tim.
Great to see Tim in here.
Symmetry saw him in 92.
Yeah, 92 at the Commodore. I think he said that was the night they shaved Tommy Lee's head.
Brother.
That's in the Pantera video. On the video.
Pretty baloney, you know what's up, man. Congratulations on that.
Wow, Billy saw Tom Morello's first band, Lockup, in a tiny club.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Well, we got quite the crowd in here tonight. Good to see you all. Okay, Herb's keeping track. You got $14 left. 2 additional super chats.
Right on. Well, fuck that. $13. Awesome.
Nice.
John DeShane, rock on, brother.
Doing well. Just a reminder, folks, I will be live next Sunday on Christmas Day. We're doing Sick of Your In-Laws Hang at the usual time, group hang, and we'll do a group hang on New Year's Day as well, called the Hangover Hang. Sure, we'll go with that. And tentatively, January 2nd, we have Pete Thorne coming on for a Monday night show hang, which is always fun. Just before he goes off to the UK to go on tour.
You need to get Dave and Mark back on. That was sick.
That was fun. Yeah. Definitely reach out to them. They're always fun.
I can't see a demo amp behind you yet. Be nice to see a red Steve Stevens behind you, wouldn't it?
Tell me about it, right? That's the amp. Like, I was watching on Friday Night Tone Talk, and someone's like, what's something with a good Fender clean and a good Marshall dirty? He's like, oh, that'd be Steve Stevens. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want.
Well, he improved. It's the Mark II Steve Stevens. I think the first one, it did well, but he's made some improvements on the second one. I guess Steve wanted some changes maybe, and that's what they did. And I think it's the clean channel. I think they put like I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to say because I don't freaking know. But one of the other amps possibly in the clean channel.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out what 2023 is going to be the year of, because the year of the Dodd is coming to a close at the end of the year.
It's going to be the year of StarZero, mate. That's what it's going to frickin' be.
I like that.
We're going in hard.
Yep. Full throttle.
Full throttle, do it all the way.
Always.
That's the rules.
Yep.
Turn the key, full throttle, boom. Keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Every day something needs to happen,
Yeah. It's like Charles with his fabric setup he's got going on. He's got almost a mini factory going on there at his place now.
Oh, after he did your guitar, he's getting some orders?
Oh, he's already done another 3 or 4 since mine, and he's with Randy Crooks, speaking of which, super chat with Randy Crooks, he's getting one done. It won't be ready till March.
Hey, Charles, when you start doing some swirls, I'll give you a call. Maybe he already does. I don't know.
Well,
I think
you just find a swirl fabric that you want.
One of my 7 strings, I think.
Or you just do a swirl fabric. So there we go. Randy Crooks asked, how close have you gotten to play with one of your heroes?
What's that?
Randy Crooks asked, how close have you gotten to play with one of your heroes?
Well, there are a few situations. I think closest I've got to where it was so emotional for me, I wasn't playing with him, but playing Brixton Academy in Britain, which is a huge freaking venue. And it's one of the most famous, like London Calling of the Clash where he's standing, that picture, that's Brixton Academy. And I got to play on the same side of the stage in the same spot where I saw Jerry Cantrell and Alice in Chains. So to play that stage, well, I was just freaking so emotional at that show when I saw Alice in Chains. And then it would have been like 3 years later, I think, I got to play that stage and know where I was watching him. That was very emotional. And, a huge moment for me. I mean, love him or like him, when we were hooked up back in the day and, with Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, Fred used to come in and jam with us quite a lot. So we used to be in killer studios in Los Angeles, like, full rehearsal rooms with stages and freaking a sound guy in there. And some of them smaller, and Fred would come and jam with us. He'd be watching us as we're kind of like writing and doing pre-production stuff. And he would jump on stage and just start rapping. And it was right in his peak. So that was freaking quite huge.
That's
looking
pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of sessions. And I jam with Puddle of Mud as well during some writing sessions during their first album. That was quite incredible.
Mm-hmm.
To be in a rehearsal room when they were doing those songs, because Blurry, sure. Damn, huge song. So I've been in some crazy situations like that. Probably some others, I can't think. Yeah, but they're Jerry Cantrell. That's the one I always like to. I'm like, dude, played on that fucking where I watched him, man. I
we
played
got
on a lot of
Michael B. Live in the chat. Another OG in this community. Michael B. Live.
George Badar. That's what it's all about, man. Thank you, brother.
Look, George.
And any love for Instagram and Facebook. That's what it's all about right now. You got to fucking video. That's how bands like us will succeed, because we don't want a fucking record company, because they will put all the money out, but they own your songs. They take it all. I've been there before. And then they keep your songs.
Yeah.
It's a freaking joke. So we want to try and do this, and we're having some movement, some people moving in with us. If we can build our numbers, it's going to make a huge difference, man. So please give us love on that side.
Nice.
Yeah.
See in there, which reminded me. Yeah, good to see Michael B in here and George. Ryan Hall had asked. So the year of the Dodd, how many Dodds? We started the year with 1. And now I have 7. So I acquired 6 through the year. For a total of 7 on the year.
Damn, isn't it funny? Those pedals back in the day were the budget pedals, and no one gave them monkeys.
Right.
And, there was that period where you could buy a $20, and no one even cared. You know what I mean? And now some of those Dodds, they're big money.
It was crazy, yeah. And there's still a few deals out there, but they were getting harder to find even by the end of this year. David Bakarski in the chat says, heading home to San Antonio for the holidays, picking up a Trainer YBA 1 that my buddy modded into a 23-watt super lead type circuit. Going Canadian. Awesome, David.
Yeah, I agree, Eddie Fay. Jerry Cantrell does seem relatable. I think we'd be best mates.
Yep.
No, I don't get starstruck, so I wouldn't be all like that. I think we'd get on really freaking good, you know.
Yeah.
I actually know their sound man really well, and everything I've heard about him, he's meant to be a freaking really nice guy.
Thanks again, Charles.
Sometimes what you see is what you get, you know. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Lane Staley. Always.
Always.
Thanks for the links, Charles. Really appreciate it, man. Already had a couple of hits.
Yeah, I was fortunate. My first rock concert was Alice in Chains. In 92? Yeah, November of 92.
Why not? I think mine was the Who on the Quadrophenia tour was my first rock concert. I was all reggae, and then the Who were
yes,
coming along.
same time next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I think Guitar Man 45 might be jumping on for some of it. Symmetry's going to jump on. Possibly some. I don't know who else. I don't know. Usually,
yeah, Eddie Fay, how cool was that dad band freaking skit, dude? That thing was.
Oh, that was the best. I laughed my ass off at that.
Yeah,
like Jerry just made that.
Real. It made me not want to do anything more with my band. I'm like, maybe we are a freaking dad garage band, and this is it, and I'm freaking lost, you know. That really did hit home, but it was the best thing ever, and I persevered. Yeah, that thing was effing awesome. Yeah, I love that.
Nice. Hello, Matthew McCosker. I think that's a new name in the chat. Welcome, my friend. Says, my first concert was the Circle Jerks in Providence, Rhode Island at Lupo's in the 80s. Nice. Patrick Wright's Kiss Dynasty Tour. Loverboy opened for them. That'd be a good show. Randy Crooks got to meet Tesla. Frank Hannon is a humble dude. Very cool.
Most people are, man. I met a lot of freaking big rock stars, man, and they've all been chill. I had dinner with Maynard.
I'll be honest, 99, well, maybe not 99, but 90% of the rock stars I've met is because of this. YouTube.
I was in Mesa, Arizona, at a Limp Bizkit show, and we're backstage, and I'm sitting on with some dude in a red hat drinking a beer, rapping with him for like 10 minutes, and he goes, "All right, man, I'm out of here. I got to get on stage." And it was Kid Rock. I had no freaking clue. And he left me and legged it like 200 yards up the stairs and walked straight on the fucking stage and went fucking, "My name is Kid." And I was like, damn.
So that just happened. Yeah.
You know, that was like the first big tour, and he's coming through, and I was lost in my own world then. I had no clue who that dude was. And I was like, all right, right on.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny.
Jonathan McCullough asks, can you guys recommend a guitar builder who is comfortable with series, parallel, and mid-boost switching, etc.?
Probably, I would firstly, here's what I'd do. Mm-hmm. I would go to Dylan Talks Tone and frickin' Texas Toast Guitars. That's where I'd frickin' go at this point right now.
I like that.
I think the dude at Texas Toast will make you whatever you want. Whatever you want.
At a good price.
At a good price. Out of Colorado. And I think Dylan is an expert. He makes pickups. And God, is he obsessed with different wirings. So I think that's your man. Check out Dylan Talks Tone on YouTube and Texas Toast Guitars.
Yeah.
And Ben Coombs sent me.
Exactly. They know me.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to an LA builder, Tyler Guitars. Yeah, Tyler's into all that because he did all the 80s stuff there for Dan Huff and Luke and stuff. So you want the mid boost and all that stuff. Tyler Guitars.
All right.
even though Quentin hates the headstock.
Okay, and they're still rocking.
Oh yeah, RJ Ronquillo bought one this year.
Dude, I think Dylan and the what's his name from Texas Toast? Freaking
Oh Jesus, Matt and Chris.
They're like us.
Yep.
They're like, well, how much?
Yeah.
They're probably like, well, how much do you want us? How much have you got? And they'll work with you, I'm sure, because it all starts.
He says we all hate the headstock. Touche. That's true.
Tyler Guitars. I'm gonna have to have a peek then.
Okay, well, Jonathan McCullough replies, "But Tyler built my Dan Huff." Well, then you already know that. All right, so forget about that. You already have one. Fair enough.
Is it worse than the original Epiphone head or that horrible Epiphone head?
I'm going to blame lifestyle choices because I realize now that I met Jonathan through RJ's chat, so he's already well aware of Tyler's and shit because he watched.
That's James Tyler Guitars. James Tyler.
Matthew McCosker reports in for my 50th birthday in Athens, Georgia. Cool town. Seeing Clutch. Tim Salt bumped into my wife and at lunch and sat with us for like 30 minutes. Nicest guy in the world and an awesome guitar player. That is so cool.
Okay, so Tyler Guitars, they're those old 80s ones, aren't they? The custom ones.
Yeah, they're still doing them.
Michael Nielsen's like
Michael Nielsen has them.
No, that he borrowed that guitar.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
No, that's his dream guitar. He didn't want to give it back.
Right.
Because it's got all that weird freaking switching on it. Yep. Now I get it. Okay. All right.
And,
catching up.
Okay. And the other thing is, even though it's like set up looking like a Super Strat, you can have all three pickups on at once, which does do a thing. Because as a result, I've been playing my Kramer more because it has the 3 mini toggles to turn on and off each pick or pickup. And so I've been playing with all 3 pickups on for that exact reason.
Right.
I just don't have the mid boost.
I got an Ibanez, an S series from the late 80s.
Oh yeah.
And that's got the switch in. It has the 3 switches on it, and each switch controls the pickup, so you can turn all 3 pickups on.
Yeah,
that's a hum. Single hum.
Nice.
Yeah, you can turn all 3 on. That thing's freaking insane, dude.
Oh, okay. Jonathan says Michael is a good friend. You got to see Michael's new guitar. I do, actually.
Is it a Friedman? I wonder what his new one is.
I was also going to mention, Brad Guitar Miller has built 1 or 2 guitars at Texas Toast now.
Oh, in these classes?
Yeah, he's gone out a couple of times, I think.
Yeah, I think I've seen him on there, actually. Yeah, in one of the classes. Yeah, looks like a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And weed's legal there as well.
Nice thing too, JJ, is if we go out there, we have a place to stay because Ike lives like a mile or 2
Ike's
from
right there. We got Ike, we got Texas Toast, but Ike for sure. Yeah. No, it's definitely. I want to get out there. I want to go see Zim in Arizona. I want to go and see Ike. I want to buy his Marshall JMP, which has now been sitting on the shelf. And if you're out there, Ike, I'm sure we're going to work a deal at some point. He's got that Marshall JMP, which has been sitting on his shelf for over a year now. And I'm sure we can work a deal. I'll have to freaking load up some trade-ins, head on out to fucking Colorado. Oh, there you go, $12. Head out to Colorado and trade up for that JMP. I am Jones in a Marshall JMP.
Eddie Fay, the glass saxophone, is it branded? Why, yes, it is. There you go. Of course, my signal goes all to shit. But yeah, it's branded. You know, Mazel.
Anyone in the chat got a Marshall JMP or a JCM 800?
I do not. I want a JCM 800 at some point in my life.
I've had one JCM 800 head and a JCM 800 combo, 212 combo, which I used to tour with that combo. That was a freaking loud beast.
Nice.
They're killer with pedals.
I was offered a Marshall DSL with a 210 combo. The rare Marshall 210 combo.
Right. Dude, we used to rehearse in a place. I mean, back in the day.
About it more, I might actually go for that.
We used to rehearse in the early 90s in these rehearsal rooms in England. There was 2 particular I knew. One was the names don't matter, but there would be walls of these Marshall heads, walls of them, freaking, the original plexis. I mean, there was so many, and you could literally pick them up for £200-300, like $400-500. The ones that are now going for like 20 grand, the original plexis, because they were everywhere. They were but no one knew what the freaking, our generation coming off freaking, Boss pedals and freaking Dodd grunge pedals, you know what I mean? That's what we want. I remember turning one on once in the room and cranking it, going, "This is horrible." You know what I mean? Because it was just too much, and there was no distortion. It was just hugeness.
Thanks, George.
Perfect cutting. Yeah, man, gotta love them. There you go, modern vintage. Right on, brother.
Nice. Ooh, Patrick Tracer's 50-watt JCM 800 212 combo with steel toggles. Oh, nice. I bet you that's got to be a heavy amp. God.
Yeah, that's what I had, the 50-watter.
Yeah, that's got to be.
And I had one tube socket was dodgy, and every now and again it would freaking live. I had the reverb tank in it as well. But every now and again live, it would like jiggle and make this horrible, just squeal. Never got it fixed, but I used to rock that amp, and it was a beast, but heavy as hell. I don't mind heavy as hell, You gotta pay your dues, lucky gear.
Modern Vintage says, was it Chicago Music Exchange had 30% off Les Pauls this past week? Damn,
dude, that's huge.
Store cost. That's a blow.
I'm loving those Epiphone Adam Jones guitars with the artwork on the back.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones you look at now, think, should I, shouldn't I? I mean, it's not going to happen. I ain't got the cash, but they're the ones which are a reasonable price. In a few years to come, you're going to be like, damn, I should have bought one of them. They only made them 1,200. Love it.
Jesus. Okay, Guitarman 45's reported in, so he's got a JCM 900, 273 Marshall Super Lead 100s with master volumes, one Marshall JCM 2000. Triple Super Lead 100 and one JVM 410. Dang.
Yeah, the JCM 2000, the TSL 100 is a killer one. That's an awesome amp. I've got the the 100H or whatever, which is their newer one after that. That thing's bad. I mean, it's got all the Marshall tones in it. But it doesn't do that 800 thing. It's close, but it doesn't have that girth of that 800. Yeah, but a monster. But he has the 2 Super Leads. There you go. With a master.
That's true. An SVT bass head should have wheels, BC Rich.
Oh, 9s. Damn. Pricey.
Nice vintage. That is nice. Have you seen the latest guitar I picked up, JJ?
Check it out.
I snagged this a couple of months ago.
I think I've seen you. I think I may have seen. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, vintage. Whoops. Oh, there goes my bottle of water. That's perfect. Let's pick that up before it just drowns everything. There we go. Yeah. You don't need a neck shim, but beyond that.
What is it?
Yeah, vintage. Icon V6.
Oh, it's a vintage guitar. That's the brand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember checking them out at NAMM, and I thought they were pretty cool. But yeah. Plays great. Sounds like a Strat.
That's the Sonic. Is that the Sonic Blue?
Yeah, Sonic Blue with the medium relicing factory relic that looks kind of shitty up close, but whatever.
Yeah, that's sick. Love it.
The price was right.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Came with a gig bag. With a gig bag.
Yeah, man.
You know how that goes. It's like I don't need a gig bag. If I need to take it anywhere, I have enough hard shell cases I can throw it in.
No, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Who was just saying that? Freaking Billy Baloney, yeah, lugging around those SVT heads. I used to guitar tech for a band, lugging all the gear in, and they had the 8x10 and SVT 2 Pro or whatever. Thing weighed a freaking ton, man. That's the heaviest head. And that's besides moving that refrigerator around. That was nuts. But what a tone. Again, you got to lug the gear to get the tone, haven't you? That's it. If you really want the tone, I mean, nothing beats those Ampeg heads. With those 4x10s or 8x10s.
Just texted you, Mayhem. See you, Herb. Have a good night, my friend. Thanks, Philip. What was it, a couple of weeks ago here when we had Charles 75N on? Unfucking Believable came on and live on air bought a vintage guitar. But an actual vintage guitar because he bought an 89 Strat Plus live on air.
An 89 Strat Plus.
Yep.
Nice. Were they making the Strat Plus? Wasn't that the one with the gold hardware? Was that not the Strat Plus?
No, this one just a standard trim, but it's got the active or the lace sensor pickups in it. Wilkinson nut.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Model up from basically your American standard.
I still can't get my head around an 89 being a vintage.
I know, right?
Because I remember walking in the stores, man, Tiger Music and frickin' in the lanes in Brighton, man. Seeing all them guitars, you know.
Yes, my knees hurt. It was purchased.
Makes us vintage.
Yeah, purchased, and we're just trying to bust out some parts for it right now to make it all correct. Yeah, in a couple of weeks, a 93 will be considered vintage, right? And hell, I have an 89 Strat, which I bought. It was only 2 years old when I bought it as a used Strat.
So that was just a few years prior to Mexico build. Because when did they start that? Like 94, 95?
In around there, I think. Sounds right.
Yeah.
Modern Vintage is asking, what are those mesas in the corner?
I got a triple rectifier, Rev G. So just the 2-channel, which is a freaking... I use that live on occasion, and in the rehearsal room, I'll swap out amps. That thing is just a monster. But the effects loop, and I've modded the effects loop. It's got a trippy effects loop. Can't remember what they call it. It's not parallel, and it's not freaking whatever, you know. But it's not the right one, so it doesn't take pedals well. So there's a mod you can do, but it does. It's not the same. It's kind of this. Anyone who knows mazes knows about the effects loop in the early mazes. Yeah, so Rev G, and then I got a single rectifier combo, which is an absolute, probably my favorite rectifiers. Yeah, I just love that amp. It sounds so insane, so insane. Yeah, and then a rectifier, the Rectiverb, which has the blues mode on it. So the blues mode is just dope, and yeah, I generally run them in the vintage mode. Crank them. Love my mazes. Yeah.
George was asking what's considered vintage. Some say 25, some say 30.
If you want the 90s sounds, you got to run the 90s amps. Now I do run this one live and rehearse a lot with it. The EVH, it's got the tones in it, man. That thing, and it's just 50 watts. Chuck that thing around. It just handles abuse, and then you can crank that
through that head. Enjoyed it. What's up, Eddie Van Haskell? Hey, Mark. Good to see you, my friend.
Taft. Good to see you, brother.
Hope you're feeling better.
The JJ Junior is killer. I got to tell you that.
I remember the first name that we went together. You're like, it's out. I gotta go try it. And as soon as you plugged in, you're like, yep, that's the tone. I need one of these.
But he had it through that rack. He had it going through the rack through 2 4x12s, and we were A-Bing it with a 100-watter.
Yeah.
And dude, it sounded killer. But I've used that live through a 212, and it's a big 212 with the EVM 12Ls. I've used it 12, and it's just, our drum is too heavy, man. It's just like 10%. You need like 10% more.
Right.
But I could, but it's a lot of gear to run around. I've got the Fryette power station, which is 50 watts. So I can turn that 20 watt JJ in by running it through slaving it through the power amp of the Fryette. That's a lot of gear to run around, but the tone on that is the deal. Yeah, so I mean, maybe one day, let's get Friedman back on here with Huzansky, and we'll talk about the band, and you'll get me on the show, and we'll talk about how much I love Friedman and Jerry Cantrell, and how that amp needs to be on stage with me, behind me, and I'll get the 100 watt JJ. That'd rock, wouldn't it?
Yeah, works for me.
I'd love to have a BE behind, but that freaking Marshall's insane. My amps are all insane, but the JJ tone. I actually got them out tonight. I was trying to see how similar I could get them. And I went with the DS1 as well, or an SD1. Take the chub out of it, but see how similar I could get them. And the Cantrell thing's got something. They're different sounds. Cantrell's based off a British sound, and EVH is based off a US sound. So you ain't going to get close.
Exactly.
And what it is,
yeah, we do have a lot of tones covered modern vintage. That's true.
So I'm talking about the girth of the
cover
JJ
most of the
800.
tones.
Yeah, the JJ has the girth like the Marshalls have, which EVH it doesn't have that girth like the Marshalls. There's nothing like it. Problem with it takes over the whole freaking stage in tone. You know what I mean? Everyone's fighting against the Marshall then as well. It's a fine balance. No one can be too loud. It's all in the mix. But damn. Jeff K, thanks for the love, brother. Much appreciated.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. People, check it out.
Music. Super proud of our music, man.
If your local radio station has a request tab, write it in. Demand it.
There you go. Start demanding it across the country. That's how it works. Yeah, we're sitting pretty on a local, it was not local, it's Southern California, biggest rock station, KLOS at the moment. We were in this kind of like show they do called Stay or Go, where you send it in and you sit there with the DJs, and they're huge rock DJs. And first the people call in to decide if you should stay or go. And we did that show, and we're sitting 99% right now. We're top of the whole thing. And we get to play the next big event that radio station puts on. They'll generally do 2 or 3 big events a year. So the next one, we should be on it. And that's going to be sick. So that'll be some good exposure.
For sure.
But, it's funny because breaking bands now, it's not about radio. People don't listen to radio. They listen to Spotify and iTunes. That's where they're getting their music. Not many people are listening to the radio anymore. And that's obviously been an issue for radio. They're struggling. You see stations going all the time. So now it is really about building a following based on social media and all these different music platforms, which is sick for unsigned bands. That's the golden ticket right there. If you're willing to work hard and put the time in and work these systems a little bit, you can get some success. It's not about that. It's about getting it. For us, it's about getting the music out there first and foremost.
And hello to Eric Warrington. Good to see you, my friend. And Richard Knoll.
Yeah, he's rocking the JJ Junior. Incredible.
Yeah.
Do you run it in the? Let me ask you. Do you run it in the JJ mode or the kind of the Plexi mode or whatever, the BE mode? Because the BE mode is more open. That really gives it that Marshall, and the JJ it saturates it more. Drops the volume. You've got to crank it more, but it saturates it. But if you back down your gain with that saturation, you're spot on for Jerry's tone.
Ricky asked if you're on Spotify.
We are on Spotify.
So there you go. Search out StarZero on Spotify.
Yeah, StarZero Dark Side. Thank you. And hit us up on Instagram and Facebook. Crazy. Shouldn't even be saying that shit, but you got to. Yeah, it's what it's all about.
I get it.
Yeah, JJ mode. Yeah, that other one's killer though, isn't it? That open mode just gets boom. But I love saturation, man.
I try, Jonathan.
Try that. Try the BE mode with a drive in front of it. You know, standard settings, the 808 settings, volume on full, drive on 0, tone where you like it. I like the SD1. It's got more of a, it's not so mid pushy, you know.
Yeah.
There's enough mids in the EQ on a lot of the amps I use, so you don't really need that massive mid bump. It's just too trebly for me. I love the SD1.
Yeah. I'm all the mids. That's why I have like something like a Klon on my board all the time for that reason.
It's like you know, back to Pantera and Dimebag, you know, scooped all the mids, but massive volume and that kind of like, what was that? Certain tone, you know.
Yeah.
But you've got to have the volume to push it when there's no mids, otherwise you're just fighting with everything.
Exactly.
That's what I do in rehearsal room. We all set them on, our bass player uses a subwoofer as well, so the bass is freaking huge. Use a 210 and a sub, an active sub. Really weird setup. Nothing wrong with a weird setup. There ain't no rules.
Oh fuck no.
Odd set, you know, and even in rehearsal rooms, people are like, "Damn, what the hell are you using?" It's huge, the bass. I freaking love it. But it's frequencies, you know. So in rehearsal room, it's like, grab those freaking mid knobs and just, and suddenly it just comes in.
Yeah.
So,
15-inch or 18-inch.
I think it's I'll find out, but I'm pretty sure it's. I think it's an 18. It's freaking huge. I think it's an 18. Yeah. So an active powered monitor sub, and he uses some kind of Fender combo with a 210s in it, and got one of the best bass tones I've heard. And he has this cheap Yamaha guitar, bass guitar, which the thumb indents, because these are fingers, the thumb indents where he's eating out the wood. He loves this guitar, man, and God does it sound killer through this rig. Cheap guitar, weird setup, cheap guitar, best tone I've heard.
Nice. Eddie says, if your music's being heard by your audience on Spotify, does the tone of your gear matter since the signal they get is digitized?
Well, the tone of my gear in the recordings was all picked by, you know, Cameron Webb, our producer, who's the key to this whole, in a way. You know, we all work together as a team, but having the whole game plan with this band was I've been there before, was signed back in the day, got screwed by labels, pulled the band to pieces that I've been with for years. And it's like, we're going to do it on our terms now. And how do you do it? You do what the record companies did back in the day. You find the right producers, you knock down the doors again, but don't knock down the doors for the frickin' record companies. Get the key players in it. We know we got the music, and once we got that producer, you know, it's his ears. It's his, you know, I brought in my amps. We use some of mine because he loves working and the backward and forward. Well, what's your idea? You know, if you ain't, tell me your sound. You know, like, nah, or like, damn. I remember walking in with my Ibanez, my 89 RG550. It's got something so special in the tone. Mm-hmm. No matter what I plug into, it's one of the best tones I've ever heard. So we're like, on like day 3 or something, I'm like, I just walked in with that guitar and said, you know, we should try this one because it's got a killer tone. He goes, plug it in. And we're like tracking, plugged in the Ibanez, and he's like, that's an insane tone. So we start using that for some tracks. I used your P90s, you know, the ones you gave me. I put in that Gibson, my Gibson Les Paul. Put your P90s. That was on some of the tracks. You blended the tones. Well, that was his ears. I've got my own ideas, and I've been recording forever in my own studio. But my ears aren't his magic. He has the hitmaker ears.
I was going to say radio ears. I've been learning about this.
Where the tones are going to sit in the mix. Yeah, my big, massive, you know, whether I was running through a Bogner amp or a freaking a Marshall Super Lead, we used all these amps, a Fender Bassman. whatever he picked, when I heard it back, that would never be where I would sit them in the mix. They wouldn't have been the tones I would have picked at all, but God did it work. Having someone else's ears, which are tried and tested. Our producer, he produced all of Motorhead albums from like the mid-90s onwards. He worked under Terry Date, him and Ulrich Wilde. It was all the Pantera stuff. He's worked with all the punk bands that came through, NoFX, Pennywise, just so many bands, legends. And that's so the tones you hear, that's a producer's ears. It's been produced, But
I've been binge watching a lot of the Sunset Sound podcasts, and they're talking about that. It's like Eddie was mentioning, it's different for the mix we'll call it for radio. And I agree, because it's like, you can have a killer tone and it's killer live, but it may not even translate necessarily to radio per se, the way things are compressed or whatever. So it's like when you sent me the tracks, I went, like, I know it's you playing, but I was like, that's not your tone, but it totally worked for the song. And I'm listening to these songs and I was just like, all right, this is different, because obviously I had heard the previous iteration of the band too.
Right.
So things were going to be different. But some of things were completely different. But I was just like, oh, I get, like, say, Fresh Set of Years, it was like a complete do-over. Like, it was almost like another band covering the same song, but it was bigger. Holy crap. And I was just like, oh, these are all ready for radio play. Like, when I heard
the whole point with Cameron, when I first sat with him, it's like, okay, I want to go back to the 90s. I want to do a 90s record as though we're in the 90s. I want to use all your freaking rack equipment here. That's how because it wasn't easy that, he had to hear our demos and all that to work with us, and when I finally sat with him, it's like, he's like, what's your vision? What do you want to do with this? I'm like, here's what I want to do. I want to recreate the 90s. I want to make an album as though we're in the 90s, because that's the music we love and believe. And that's what we're rocking in a rehearsal room right now. The riffs never left us, Mm-hmm. And, we did 90s tones. That's all the equipment that they were fucking using back then, making all the records, the Soundgarden records. It's all the rack equipment he's got in there. It's the same stuff. He's got that desk, the Trident desk, which Queen recorded on. It's all the OG stuff. Now, we didn't go to tape, but, with his magic ears, over the years of progressing, they figured out nothing's ever going to be the same as that analog tape warmth. But if you're still going through analog desks and all the analog equipment, putting it to digital, they know, they've worked the EQs now. They know what they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. You just have to compensate here a little bit here and there. And you say, all that gear's just sitting there. Let's use it.
Yeah. But he's the master of the frickin' tones. He knows how to, whatever band he's working with that he wants to work with, he knows how to focus the tones for that band, because he hears the vision. He'd come to rehearsal with us, and vision comes together as a unit with your producer, and that's the vision. He's got it in his head. We're gonna play it. He's gonna put us through the meat grinder and work us so freaking hard and pull the best out of us. And whether it's 20 takes or freaking whatever it takes, because if you're on a progression and he's feeling it, he knows there's a little bit more, or it's just, and he'll pull it out of you, and there you are. But back to tones, like, the PV Decade amp. The PV Decade? There was the big hype on it because Queen of the Stone Age, a lot of their tones were off that PV Decade. And that was the secret amp, and it was given out in that YouTube interview. It was in the corner, and then they took the video down. And then finally, freaking, Josh Homme freaking talked about that amp and said, this is the secret weapon. And it was a $50 PV Decade transistor freaking amp. Mm-hmm. But if you do certain things with it, put it through a ribbon mic and on certain angles, you get
blend it in underneath. Yeah,
crazy stuff. You get these crazy bass tones or these crazy guitar tones, Queen of the Stone Age stuff. So I brought that amp into the session as well, because we're talking tones on his question. Are they that important? They all translate. And in our song King Saul, we come to this drop where it's just guitar. So we're freaking hammering away, coming out of a chorus. It just drops to guitar, freaking nothing else, grinding this riff away. We use that amp, which is a little 1x8 speaker. little freaking 50, but it gave this certain tone which took it away from the rest of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put all those little pieces together in a whole song, that's what translates through. And it's the producer's work that make it that take your big grindy tones and compress them and smooth them. And, but Cameron, you find the tone there and then. When you're done tracking, the mix is there, you've already found your tones. It's very fine tweaking. He doesn't like to just lay the tracks and go, okay, I'm going to do all the work later. Most of the work's done. We find the tone. We'll try different amps, different guitars. We don't go too crazy. We don't sit there. There's no budgets for that. Not sitting there for days. You may be spending 20 minutes, 25 minutes finding a tone between different amps because he's quick. Go, let's try the J&P. He'll just reach over, boom, lead out, lead in, boom. There's the J&P coming through these two stacks in the freaking speaker room. You know what I mean? Boom, there's your tone. We'll put it in the mix. Fucking there we are. Let's make it more crazy. Let's put this fucking crazy freaking thing in the front. You have excitement, you find your tones, and he makes the magic. Bless you, Cameron Webb. What can I say? Please look him up and check it out. It's all over YouTube, talking about how to make a kick drum sound, how to make a bass tone. Yeah. Check him out, man.
We did that. Richie and I, we're recording his band at the time, like 10 years ago. And I wanted to come check it out. I hadn't been around a recording session before. And he's like, yeah, come on out. And I said, do you want me to bring any gear along? And he's like, yeah, man, can you bring your telly, the 67? I'm like, done. And I thought to bring along the little tiny Brentwood amp back there. Solid state, 4 watts, 4.5-inch speaker in it, JJ.
Man.
Okay. But dime everything on it. It does a little thing, right? Direct in. And so Rich is using it for a lead. And his bass player is there, and he's like, that sounds like ass. That doesn't work. It's like, wait, recorded the track, brought it in, brought it up in the mix, boom, boom, boom. Gives him the cans. He's like, listen to this. He's like, holy crap, that's Keith Richards. Because it just cut through. And by diming everything, it was right at that edge of breakup sound. And
killer. It's crazy.
That's killer. Yeah, you wouldn't hear it on a stage, obviously, but killer.
Yeah, it's fun times when you're finding tones, it's fun times.
Yeah.
I had amp heaven.
Oh,
I had amp heaven in that studio. So many Soldanos, Bogners, just to F around with, it was, he knew what he wanted to use because he had when we walked in that studio, he just wanted us ready,
Christopher, stream of the day, new stuff, never tried it before. Lime OG.
I didn't get mine labeled. I can't even remember what it was called. There was 2 different types. You start putting labels. I'm like, don't worry about
that. You'd only want to see that price, JJ.
That's right now here they got. Yeah, that's crazy. I'd have to try it though. I'm a bit of a connoisseur. It'd have to be. The qualities down here. I mean, how is it in the when we've gone to the stores here? When you've been down, we bought like the best quality.
Yeah, I would say it's at least 90% of the way there.
That close.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because a lot of it, it was that upper shelf stuff that's just old stock, like day old donuts. So it's dried out a bit. So, that's the way I saw it. I'm not sure, Christopher. I don't even check anymore. I'm just like, yep, that's a cheap price. I'll take it. No, you got to go to the res to get it at that price, but still. You go there, you get your tax-free gas, get your tax-free weed.
Oh, sorry.
Have a nice day.
Damn. I'm trying to find this. Where is it?
Keep those questions and comments coming, folks. Awesome. Or know a guy. Well, Mayhem. Well, yeah, we got that left. That's because it was the exclusively in here stuff for a while, and then Yeah, that stuff, it was good. Went through it quickly, but it was good. Well, quickly. That's quickly. I picked up an ounce. I went through an ounce in a week, JJ, last week somehow.
Kidding.
Yeah. Oops.
Isn't that normal? Isn't that normal?
But yeah, especially winter. It's not that you're going out and doing stuff.
You know what? For me, it's my medicine. I'm a full insomniac. I mean, like full. I mean, anyone here in the chat who suffers from insomnia, when someone says they're a full insomniac, you know, probably 9 out of 10 people you tell that to will have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But there's going to be that one guy who goes, or lady, whatever, will go, I know what you're saying, because literally an insomniac. It's ridiculous. So, I smoke weed to keep my anxieties, which I don't have anxiety, but I'm, and anyone who does, I'm so sorry, but I don't have it. It just keeps me on a level.
Yep.
It keeps me on a level which I'm happy with, but it helps me sleep, man. I'm telling you. So that's what it's all about for me.
Yeah,
so
brother Tom in the chat, he's been lurking the whole show. He's not feeling too well, but he makes an appearance in the chat.
Rock on, brother. Much love to you.
Yeah, we love Tom.
Yeah, see, absolute mayhem. He's an insomniac. He goes to bed at 2 or 3 and he's up at 7. So that's what I am. But it's the sleep pattern between 3 and 7 is the problem, because you don't really sleep. You get older, you're going to get up and pee for one. So that's broken this pattern. And then any noise will wake me up. I'm not even asleep. It's a twilight. It's effed.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Doug Strong. He's been lurking as well. What's up, Doug?
Right on.
Doug usually jumps on the Zoom calls as well. That's the JJ. Like, you seeing faces like when I think it was the first Zoom call when Guitar Man 45 and BC Rich 581 both jump on, and I'm like, these are guys I've been talking to as long as I've been talking to you in this YouTube thing. And then to put faces to them, like, that's what you look like. This is awesome.
That's amazing, especially when you're at NAMM.
Yeah.
And then you meet people who you've known from the chat and never seen their face, and they stand there.
Same
and they
idea.
walk up to you and they just look at you and they go, "Hey, I'm so and so," and you're like, "No freaking," and they introduce themselves, their name, like freaking, "I'm freaking Z²6," and you're like, "Yeah, bro, Z²6." You're like, "What?"
And people are looking at you like, "What the fuck?"
I know. Well, no, they're not, because 99% of the people there are freaking YouTubers. Let's face it, these days.
Yeah. That's true, BC Rich 581, and he brought the greatest bass ever made with him. JJ, a BC Rich headless bass. It's like a 1 of 1. It's insane.
Yeah, mayhem, feel your pain. Hey, since I'm whoring myself and my band out tonight, which is, that's apparently that's how you get places, and I always said that back in the day. You got to knock down the frickin' doors to make things frickin' happen. So it's a little moment of whoring myself out. We do have StarZero77 on YouTube. There's nothing posted, but that's about to start ramping up, and we're going to start posting everything on there. Okay. For people who don't follow Instagram or anything else, I'm going to start that YouTube channel flowing. I was thinking, well, I've got like 250 subscribers on my JJ's House of Jams channel. Do I move it, or do I just start from scratch on StarZero? But then I lose my JJ's House of Jams name.
Right.
And then
I would have both. I'd keep them separate.
That's what I think. So anyone who wants to sub to StarZero777, freaking do it.
Nice.
And then look up TC Fever International or TC Page. He's an East Coast representative for us who is posting a crap load of stuff, but it goes in different directions away from all this. And there might be a link with that. I just hit on our thing and he came up straight away. But thank you, Philip Aspie. Rock on, brother. There we go. So we're going to start ramping that up, and I let my home channel kind of go a bit. I focus on my band and writing music, but that's all part of it now. YouTube is going to ramp, and talking the guy mentioned earlier, like footage from shows, we're going to start doing all that and all our shit. Take everyone on the journey. So much to post. So that's my rant, and that's JJ's whoring himself out for a few minutes.
Hey, we've been talking about this as long as I've known you, brother. So I'm glad.
Dude, when it's rolling, you got to keep rolling. And our singer Josh Pasquich, for those of you who are into like kind of rock music from the 70s, and just those massive vocals, which are just undeniable. and the lyrics. I mean, look at the lyrics, because that tells a freaking story. And it's like one of our good guys who hangs with the band, bro, says, dude, you got to look at the freaking lyrics. You know, he hates our name. He's going, you dark. You know, he goes, lyrics, your name's got to be different. He's going, read, because I know, you know, Josh is, you know what he's like, you know, and some people are going to
I love Josh.
It's all in the lyrics, man. It's all in the freaking lyrics, and it's the real deal. And his voice is just so powerful. So when that was kicking in 5-6 years ago, it was never going to stop. I just knew, after being somewhere before and getting something happening with a band with an incredible singer years ago, I just knew this has to be heard by the world. And when we got in a room, it was just, well, great musicians. It's
on. Like when I met you, you were jamming by yourself, and you met Josh just after we had met. And you're like, hey, I got a singer. I'm like, oh, yeah. And then you had played me some of the tracks. And it was just you and Josh, like raw stuff that you're recording at your place. And I was just like, oh, this is killer. And then to see it now, yes, I am, Jonathan. There's a link to my vocals are key to any big song that we all know and love. You know, vocals. Vocals it is an instrument, and Josh uses his voice as an instrument.
And you know, in my absolute belief, we've lost some gods. We lost Chris Cornell. We lost Scott Weiland. You know, we lost Lane Staley. You know, and bless everyone else we've lost. But the big gods of an era that I came through, which I loved, Josh is up there with them. And for those of you like powerful, incredible vocals, check it out, man. So it was never going to fricking stop. Had to be heard. And I feel proud that we've got it released. You know, the whole point was just to get it down and recorded. But things keep opening. Yep.
Hey, you got to go. Roll with it. Just roll with it. Nice, Patrick.
Full throttle. Rolling it at full throttle.
Yes.
You know, and, you know, all the band get it. You know, they know it's, you have a inkling of potential of something happening. You push and push and push. That keeps happening, and over a period you realize as you've done that, things keep happening, and then you just got to keep going, and you never stop. Christmas is a bummer. Right in the way. And we did get we actually, after that radio campaign we did with KLOS, we ended up signing a licensing deal, which has just been a dream for me. And all along, since my whole thing with music was, you know, to get any success in music financially of any chance, you know, if you can get on movies or games or things like that, commercials or freaking, I mean, that's
where the money is these days.
I want my music heard, man. Yep. But we signed a licensing deal with a PLB in Los Angeles, and they're going to be putting out a big campaign for us to promote that, and they've got some good acts. And we're licensed now to put the songs on movies and stuff like that. So working hard for something to break with that, and that could be awesome.
Yeah, no kidding. Movie soundtracks, never a bad thing.
Dude, you never know. I think the songs are worthy. Wait till that next song. Dude, got some exciting songs coming through.
Yeah. We'll go to the top of the hour here, folks. So,
yeah, rock on, Blackjack. Always a pleasure to see you, brother.
True, Doug. So I do commercial work. I know a guy that does that. Decent money. Movie work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think how many songs from back in the day are still used in advertising left, right, and center?
Oh, yeah. Still going strong. I mean, that's always been the way, and that's what I said previously on my list. That's the way to do it, if you could even get a chance to do it. And they came to us, man. Yeah, Killer Killer is going to get released, man. I don't know when, but, dude, that's a hell of a song. That's going to rule the airwaves. That's going to rule the airwaves.
Yeah, that song gets stuck in my head from time to time.
Yeah, it's a big song.
That's a good thing. That says something.
Machine vibes, the freaking... It's got grind on it, man.
Yeah.
We've got some great songs. I mean, yeah, back in record, we just came back from the desert 2 weeks ago. We were out in the desert at our keyboards. Our keyboard player, Ronnie King, he was toured with the Offspring for a decade. He played with Tupac Shakur on a lot of the Tupac stuff, played with on the recordings with Snoop Dogg, Pennywise, NoFX. I mean, the list is endless. And he's our keyboard player, and he has a studio out in the desert, incredible place. We went out, did a bunch of pre-production on a bunch of songs. It was incredible. And then we're off to record again in January. So next year's on.
Awesome.
Yes. So big props to Ronnie King. Check him out. What a Grammy award-winning, freaking incredible musician who's been on so many records. Yeah, from Mariah Carey to freaking NoFX.
Wow.
Incredible.
That means he would probably know just about everybody in the business.
He knows everybody in the business, and he's such a flamboyant, crazy dude. And I partied with him a couple of times, and we went hard. This ain't the place to tell the stories, but man, he's an absolute legend in the music industry, known throughout the music industry. And any door we open, we mention Ronnie King, and then people are like, okay, and that's in different countries as well. Everyone knows Ronnie. Yeah. We were going to play with the freaking Crash Test Dummies, and we were getting ready to all set up and do our sound check, and they flipped out because they knew we sounded like Alice in Chains, and they knew we had a buzz, and they're mellow now. They were always mellow from a period which was grunge, and they were thrown in on all those bands. I think they even played Woodstock or some.
Yeah, my friend Stuart's their guitar player.
Right. Well. Bless him. He was probably nothing to do with it, but the tour manager was having none of us playing that show.
Yeah.
And we had a contract for that show as well. So that venue had some good acts coming through as well. So we're kind of keeping our eyes out for a show we want to play.
Yeah, and when I had Stuart on the show, I didn't bother bringing that up because I was like, I saw you playing around California. I'm like, you got to run in with one of my friends, but I'm not going to.
They were irritated that we had too much gear, which was just it was a 5 or 6 piece band setup.
Yeah.
2 guitars, drums, vocals, bass, and keyboards. But they had a full setup going. And they're like, you're going to be moving this stuff. And I'm like, we won't move a thing. I don't care if I've got a 2-foot square to rock out in. I will rock out in that 2-foot square. We won't touch any of their gear. And the tour manager was having none of it. And the promoter's talking to him. And they're going back to their dressing room. And he's going, man, I'm like, dude, is there anything we can do? He's like, no. So we end up playing this freaking tiny little venue. We called around local bars. And a local bar said we could set up there. And we ended up getting 100 people there or something. And we freaking rocked it. It was insane. And Ronnie could have been playing Red Rocks that night. And he ends up playing a tiny bar with us. And he's all, dude, this is the streets, man. This is where I want to be at. He goes, fuck all that. We'll get to that. He goes, but this is where I want to be. And I just felt, yeah, we got this legend playing with us in this tiny bar. And he could have been playing Red Rocks tonight with Pepper. I'm like, damn. Yeah, so crazy.
Well, definitely, Philip, go back on the channel. JJ has been a regular on this channel since I've had a channel.
Stories, man. I
booked JJ as a guest before I started having guests. That's how long ago JJ and I go back. Because I had started the connection. I'm going to start doing interviews. And you were the first person I reached out to. I
think I did. I think I might have been the first interview.
Possibly. You might have been the first, yeah.
Yeah, because we'd connected at that point. And I think I was one of the ones who was telling you, dude, just start. You were popping on other chats. And I think you maybe popped on a live stream with someone, maybe Johnny Bean, someone. And
I started the show with Rich.
I'm doing nothing up here. I've got all my gear. I'm playing guitar and I love music. And I might just start a freaking channel. And you're working in the vape shop at that point.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I got to know you and you came down to NAMM. You bitch, I've only got 400 subscribers. I don't think I'm ever going to reach 1,000. I'm like, dude, you just got to keep full throttle, man. Never let it go. You'll get there, and in the end, you're like, dude, I don't think I'm ever going to get to 1,000. It just hangs. Where are you at now, dude?
A little over 4,000.
Well, F you then, That's awesome. that's how it, you know.
Yep.
It's been an awesome journey. I can't believe
It's been crazy. Yeah. Like the amount of people I've met and become friends with, it's just nuts. You know, it's like, that's why I appreciate everybody tuning in every week, because, you know, what the hell?
Yeah.
During Guitar Man 45, yeah, you've been around since day one.
I've been on these chats for a long time. My daughter, she showed me I didn't know nothing about YouTube. And my daughter, she showed me Howie Bean, Johnny Bean's dog, little Dalmatian. She went, look, Dad. She's all, guy's got a guitar you might like, and it's an EVH stripe guitar. And I'm like, check it out. And then he's got a link to his guitar channel with Dave Nesdell. Rest in peace, Dave.
Right.
We love you.
Love Dave.
And
Dave.
that was my first hit. And then I'm like, what the? And I'm looking at that. And I'm going, all this stuff exists on YouTube. And I don't know what year that was. It was 2010 or something. Long time ago. And then I think my next one was Rob Chapman. And because he's Brighton, which is my hometown. And I started watching Rob, and then he starts mentioning names of people I know. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I find Nelly, who was, for those of you who don't know, I was in a band for all through the 90s, came to the States a couple of times, toured through Europe. We were touring 6 months of the year, ended up getting picked up by Limp Bizkit, flown out here, got a deal. Everything went freaking pear-shaped. But our programmer was this guy called Nelly. And you can find him on YouTube. He's disappeared now. He hasn't posted for about a year. I think I told you about Nelly, Ben.
Yep.
And it's called Nelly's Slide Guitar Channel. And if you want to see some of the best slide guitar playing you've ever seen in your life of this guy busking in the streets, Nelly's a different kettle of fish, an English term. And you'll see him in his apartment talking about guitars, and he is a fucking trip. But boy, can he shred on guitar, on drums, on bass, and slide guitar. But you've got to look up Nelly's slide guitar. But what's funny is I'm watching Rob Chapman, and he goes, and he has this one, check this guy out I saw busking in the street. And he shows a clip of Nelly busking in the street. And then the next one is a surprise for Nelly. And all the money that Rob had collected from that post,
right,
he put into a credit card or freaking Visa card or whatever, one of those things, and took it to Nelly and gave it to him. It was like $200 or something. Nice. Back on the street, he goes and finds him. And then the next one is he gets a guitar for Nelly, a Chapman guitar, and takes Nelly to his house and shows him all that. But I tripped seeing that. And that was my introduction to all of YouTube. And since then, everyone knows. They're all still here in the chat. They all know. Yep. It's our new TV, isn't it? And it's all about guitar. And, I'm always, it's either music, live concerts, or guitar channels. And we've got to know a lot of people through the chats, friends now.
People have come, people have gone, people have stuck around the whole time.
And then you'll see them appear somewhere else and reconnect, because there is, we call it a community, but unfortunately, it used to be a community when it first started, but the community kind of split into different segments. There's been millions of different scenarios through the way, and some people pull out and jump somewhere else, but everyone stays connected, man. That's how it works, and it's a wonderful thing. So, yeah, man.
That's so
rocks. Guitar freaks.
Symmetry. I get. It's funny, JJ. I have conversations with Symmetry off air. After a show, the exact same way that you and I had conversations 5 years ago.
Right.
Because you had already been around, and I was new, and you're like, oh, you have no idea.
I gave you the warnings, and I said, just be chill, be neutral, and always stay neutral. And that's always been my key, because I've got close to many different people and many different, channels that I know personally. And I just stay neutral, because I'm for the love of guitar and music, and I ain't in that scene of it all. You know what I mean? It's It's all fun and games in the end. People can get butt hurt, whatever. But it's all for the love of music and
Room for
guitar.
everybody.
We're all here because we all it's deeper than guitar. I mean, it gets personal in these chats where we get to people's health and stuff like that. And there's a lot. We're all family in this fucking thing, no matter what. And as we know with families, in families, not everyone gets along.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and where's Phil? Yes, I think I remember that. Didn't I just say, just freaking get up there and rock out? I'm pretty sure that's what I said. I said, you've done
I remember that, yes.
But rock out, it's going to be just like yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, man. The stage. We're born for the stage, man.
Exactly. Yeah. I love talking about gear and music and just, having fun with my friends. So.
Oh, tone chasing. I mean, there's been a lot of that. Look at our journey with pedals and everything. I mean, how exciting has it been for all these years? So much fun. Much fun.
I'm playing choruses. I got to look at choruses again.
I can't believe the Miku pedal is like $500 now. How much were they when they came out?
I think they were like $175-ish.
So they weren't just like a cheap budget pedal.
No, they were a little too expensive to bother buying one. I always remembered that.
$500 for a Miku pedal makes you want it even more.
Right?
Good, you can get experimental with that shit.
Well, it's like I went online the other day. I'm looking for one Boss pedal, and I come across a Boss vocoder, and I'm like, I don't need a Boss vocoder, but maybe I do need a Boss vocoder.
Dude, Eddie Fay. Dude, see, this is what it's all about. It's thinking outside the box, whether it's merchandise or whatever with a band. But he's like, maybe have your band contact Tiny House Network and tell them you want a tiny house. Have fun with the show. Then others who don't even know your band will like, who are these guys? No, what we need is a tiny tour bus. That's what we need. Yeah. Like you'll have your truck or whatever, then you need a tiny little towing tour bus. That's the freaking outside the box key. Good idea, Eddie Fay. That's our manager. He thinks like that.
That's true. That's true, Sean Zimmerman. You've been around since the start.
Sean's been there forever, as long as I can know. Yes, absolutely, Sean.
Yeah.
There's a few of us had us
colonization things going on.
Fuck, these vape pens, man. I quit cigarettes. These things just hit them and hit them and hit them. It's gnarly. It stops you smoking cigarettes, though.
Oh, I know.
They're banning them tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow in California. Vapes are banned. Vapes.
Really?
Yeah, banned tomorrow in California. I think it's tomorrow. Anyone California guys here, I think it's tomorrow it starts. They're selling out in all the stores. What are all these people who have got massive businesses running vape stores going to do?
Yeah, no kidding.
Are you kidding me? And they put it in as a tobacco product. And there's zero.
That's the way it's regulated here. It's regulated the same as tobacco products.
But there's zero tobacco in it. It's not wrong. They want the kids back on the cigarettes, guys. William Morris, they want them back on the cigarettes. Yeah, Eddie knows.
Cervical cancer, guys.
In pregnant guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've had a cigarette since 2015. 2014, 2015.
Yeah, I might call BS on that because I've hung out with you a couple of times, young man.
No, I've had tobacco in with my weed, but I've never actually smoked a cigarette.
Bullshit. Yes, you have. I've partied with you, dude. Yes, you have. When we went to Miles's gig after NAMM, you smoked that night at that party. You have, Ben. Twice. I know. Twice.
My vape must have broken. The only reason I would have is if my vape was broken. I know it was hammered, but my vape must have been broken. That's odd.
Remember, you're hanging with JJ, mate. I think even Laz had a puff on a cigarette.
That's weird. I remember leaving my vape in the Uber, running across the parking lot after the goddamn Uber.
You can't remember. He was ratted. You know how it gets when you get ratted and it's 4:00 in the morning. Give me one of them.
It's possible.
Then he'll preach for an hour after that, saying, "I haven't smoked in 15 years" or whatever.
Rain. I haven't had one in about 20 minutes.
Gave up the Phallics and the dude. Yeah, cigarettes, man, just a thorn. I've signed contracts with my son to quit smoking. It's ridiculous. But hey, I'm doing good on the vapes, but I'm screwed tomorrow. I bought 2.
Thanks, Charles.
And then what? You're gonna have to come to Canada, get me vapes.
Yep.
I think it's tomorrow. I couldn't believe it.
Wow, that's insane. Well, on that note, we should probably wrap things up. Always a pleasure, brother, and we'll definitely do this again because
Absolutely. Well, say one. Is it this week you're doing the thing?
What's that again?
The behind the scenes hangout.
The next one will be the first Saturday in January, and then the third Wednesday in January.
All right, right on.
Yeah, but I will definitely keep you in the loop on that. If you're around, jump on. Well, and the last one it went, like I say, I was on for the first 3 hours, but they went like 6-8 hours or something crazy like that. So as long as it's going, anybody can jump in if they have the link. So awesome. So I hope everybody had a good time tonight. Hey, Ian's Guitar Shack, good to see you. And check out StarZero if you haven't already. Definitely, and search for them on your favorite music acquisition system, whatever that. I don't.
Yeah, our new single "Dark Side," and check us out on the platforms. StarZero 777 on Instagram and on YouTube, and then StarZero San Clemente Surfer on Facebook. Yeah, thanks for listening to my rambles tonight. I tend to ramble on, but it's all for the love of music. You got to keep rock and roll alive, and rock and roll will live forever.
Yes.
So keep rocking the guitars, keep chasing tone, and original music or rock the covers, whatever you do, man.
So as always, hold those doors open. Let JJ in ahead of you in traffic. Do good things because Doug's wife's real. And I'll see y'all tomorrow night with Trev and Tara doing Canucks with Guitars, and we'll see everybody on then. If not, happy holidays, and we'll see you when we see you.
Rock on, everyone. StarZero 2023 Vapor Guitars.
Don't let her
fly.